When the Europeans colonized Africa, they cared about one thing above all else: profit. Whether it was gold from Guinea, rubber from the Congo, or diamonds from South Africa, the goal was to extract resources and send them back home. This focus on profitability led the European powers to hold the Berlin Conference, where Africa was divided between new and old colonial powers diplomatically to avoid any conflict between Europeans. After all, conflicts cost money, which, at the end of the day, threatened the profitability of the colonies. What wasn't taken into account were the divisions among the Africans themselves. What this resulted in was cohesive nations like the Maasai being divided between English Kenya and German East Africa, what later became Tanzania. And the bigger the nation was, the more divided it often became. The Yoruba nation, for example, with a population today of 44 million people, were split between English Nigeria, French West Africa, German Togoland, and the English Gold Coast. Directly north, the Hausa nation, with a population of 75 million today, were divided in half by English Nigeria and French West Africa, what eventually became Niger, both of which were partially included within the borders of modern-day Nigeria, alongside the Igbo, another tribe of around 49 million people whose traditional lands lie entirely within the country's borders. And that's not to mention all the smaller tribes crammed in between them, often leading to intense competition over the lands collectively deemed as theirs. For some perspective, Spain today has nearly the same population as the Yoruba. France has slightly fewer people than the Hausa, and the Igbo have a population greater than Portugal, Belgium, and the Netherlands combined. So imagine someone coming into Europe, drawing a country that included only half of Spain, half of France, and also all those other guys. That is a simplified version of what Nigeria and many other African nations are. In the worst cases, these borders created a mess of civil wars, revolutions, and genocides within and between many African nations, as the people tried to better align their countries to their nations. These events serve as reminders of just how impactful lines on a map can be. But the great thing about borders and what this whole disaster proves is that borders are just that, lines on a map that can be changed. So if we know the borders don't work for Africa, we have to ask, can the borders of Africa be fixed?